intervention or trade union intervention. The market is supposed to be perfect, where we don't have anybody interfering. But there's no market that is perfect because government will intervene. And as soon as government intervenes, it affects the structure of the market. Do you get what I'm saying here? The market is supposed to be perfect. But a perfect market means no government intervention. There's no government or trade union. The demand for and the supply of determines the wage rate. Wage rate is the price of labor. So in the labor market, where there's no government intervention or trade union intervention, we will be paying at WE where there's D and SL. That means demand for and supply of will determine how much we pay. That is a perfect market. But in reality, there's no perfect market. Which simply means situations will change in the market. And because the situation is changing, it brings us to an imperfect market. So an example of an imperfect market is the monopsony market. And who is a monopsony? A monopsony is the only buyer of labor. So that means there's just one firm or one business that buys all the workers. So that means if you have to work, you have to work through that business. There's no other job except for that business. That's monopsony. The only buyer of labor. Do you get the market I'm talking about here? Which simply means everybody that has to be employed in that market has to go through the same one person, one firm. Do you get it or not? In a monopsony, the labor market is dominated by a single buyer. So we have only one employer in the market. For example, the market for education. So let's assume that it is only ISM that is the only school in the whole of Tripoli. So ISM will be, for teachers, ISM will be the only buyer of teachers. That's a monopsony. Do you get the point? So if this happens, it makes the equilibrium to change. Because it is only ISM that can employ teachers. ISM will not pay teachers what it's supposed to pay them. It's either you leave it or you take it. Is it making sense? So, the monopoly buyer can affect the market equilibrium as it equates the marginal cost paid to employ a worker with the marginal revenue product gain from his employment. So look at the graph here. Because there's only one buyer of workers, normally it's supposed to be MC because of MR. So it simply means if I'm going to employ you, I'm employing you because of what you're going to offer me. So I'm employing you because of the marginal revenue products. Marginal revenue product is the total amount of money made from having you as an employee. So if the cost of employing you must equal to the amount of money you're going to make. So if I'm going to pay you, I'm supposed to pay you the same amount of cost that I use in spending on you. I'm supposed to pay you this amount. But I won't pay you this amount, I will pay you this.
What's the difference between
This is the marginal revenue product. This is what you do, but this is what you'll be paid.
what's the second?
This is the maximum amount of money. This is the wage. This is the wage rate. But normally, I'm going to employ you at the same level, but I will pay this rather than this. You know why? Because you can't have any other job aside my job. So I am supposed to pay you where MC equals to the marginal revenue product, where MC equals to MRP. This is what I'm supposed to pay. And where MC equals to MRP is at this point. But I won't pay you this, I will pay you this. So that's why they said the monopolies will pay less of the marginal revenue gain from employment. So I'll pay you less of the marginal revenue gain. Marginal cost is the cost of employing you. Marginal revenue is the revenue you make that I make from employing you. So I'm supposed to pay you the cost of what I use in employing you. So you incur the cost, but you are paying less. So the difference between this and this is the revenue gained. This is the cost. This is what I'm supposed to pay. I'm paying you less. So it means I have more to do. Do you get it or not? I'm supposed to pay you where MC equals to MRP. But I won't pay you. I will pay you here. I will pay you less than what I make from you. I will pay you less than what I make from employing you. I am supposed to pay you the same amount of money I make from employing you, which is this. But I won't pay you this, I will pay you this. That is a monopsonist. So a monopsonist will employ at the same level but pay less. This is a gain for monopsonist. In a good day, it's supposed to pay you this, but it's going to pay this. Because it's the only buyer of labor. If you want to work in that industry, that is the only place you can work. So it's supposed to employ you and pay you exactly where MRP equals to MC. But it would rather pay you this than this. So that's what it said here. As we equate the marginal cost paid to employ a worker with marginal revenue product gained. This is marginal revenue product gained. The difference between WMRP minus WM is the gain. Do we get it? This is the average cost. The monopsonist will pay you the average WM equals to MC. WM equals to AC. That's the average cost of production. But you have incurred more cost, which means incurring more cost, you are supposed to incur more revenue. You are making more revenue. But instead of you to pay to equate your cost and revenue, you pay less than your revenue. The worker deserves this, but you are paying the worker this. You are still paying the worker the same amount of money you are paying before now. So you are paying the worker where WM equals to AC. This is the average cost. You are paying below the average cost. Do you get it? This is your average cost. You are paying below the average cost. When you are paying below the average cost, you are making more.
Make more.
Yeah, you're making more money. When you are paying below the average cost, this is average cost. This is what you are paying. And normally you are supposed to even pay this. So you are equating this with this. When you are supposed to equate this with this. Do we get it? What? You are supposed to equate this to this. This to this. But you have employed more worker, additional worker. So for additional worker, there will be marginal revenue products. The revenue from employing one worker, additional worker. So you are supposed to pay where the MC equals to MRP. Where MC, this is the amount they were supposed to get.
It means I bought less, I sold it more.
But you don't use it, no, not like that. What it means is, I employ you.
Yeah.
When I employ you, you are producing here, you are producing this.
Okay.
I'm supposed to give you this. This is what you produce. This is what you produce.
Okay.
This is what I'm supposed to give you.
Yes.
This is my cost.
Okay.
But I'm not giving you this, I'm giving you this.
I will give you less than you are making for me.
Yes. Why? Because you are the price maker. You decide what is being paid. So if I want to work with the school will decide what I get paid, not the market. So it's an imperfect market. Do we get it or not?
Okay.
So there's a gain. You are paying below the average cost. This is the average cost. This is your marginal cost. Marginal cost is supposed to be marginal revenue product, equals to marginal revenue product. But you are paying below it, and that is a gain in revenue. So this is how a monopsony will behave in the market. Because it is the only buyer of labor, it will pay labor whatever it deems fit. So either you take the amount or you leave it to find other jobs. So a monopsonist will exploit workers by paying them below the marginal revenue products. Do you get it?
Okay.
Any question?